WhatsApp messages. Hey, Mr. Mullins, here's a thesis as to the apathy for the political process. The Andrew Holness government made solemn promises in 2016, impeachment, term limits for PMs, fixed election dates. With these promises, ironically, impeachment died under an administration with a constitutional committee who quenched the will of the people. Every government promises to rid us of corruption, only for corruption to be entrenched under their tenure. Why should we persist with corrupt? Now, well, it's coming from Connie in Port and Moore. The thing is, though, Connie, you look at the data. Political apathy started a long time ago, and the fact is that the issue, that's even on the issue of impeachment, for instance, was fleshed out. It was something that the Constitutional Committee, Reform Committee, outlined in terms of its difficulties. And in fact, on this station, when looking at legally speaking, yes, and it took the time to go through the recommendation and to why certain recommendations were made in relation to the issue of impeachment. The fact is that your interest, though, in the process ought not to be contingent on what is promised. That's an important part. Don't misunderstand. Your interest in the process must come from a sense of understanding and appreciating the importance of the process for not only your welfare but the welfare of succeeding generations. You see, and in that way, whether or not promises are made, a person can be held to account, realizing that if those promises aren't kept, then they will have to answer for it at the ballot box. Yes. Now the question now is, if we are going to rely more on those who support the parties, which is the minority, they are going to decide your future. Yes, that's a fact. And though that is what has been happening, so we have to wake up to the responsibility and be aware that if you're going to talk about change in your country and improvement in your country, if you reside or take yourself away from the process, then you're going to guarantee that what happens doesn't happen in the interest of your country and yourself, but in the interest of the minorities. All right? Let's take some more of your calls. Good morning. Welcome to Hotline. This is Clive Mullings.
Hi. Just a second. Let me shift myself. Good morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Mullings.
Yes, ma'am.
You know what? As a young tax-paying citizen, you know what I would
As
like?
a young what?
Tax-paying
citizen. Okay. I didn't
right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I would like? I would like, at the end, and I'm calling from the Old Harbour area, St. Catherine.
Okay.
I work in town, but I'm calling about Old Harbour area.
Yes, ma'am.
I would like for the end of this, you said you're having what is that, SOE, or state of emergency. Mm-hmm. I would like for, at the end of it, I would get some form of data as to what success or whatever happened at the end of the emergency.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know why each time we're on a state of emergency and I cannot get anything to say, yes, the emergency, this happened while the emergency was in place. We read this success or whatever happened. This amount of gun was taken in. This amount of persons were taken into custody and they were prosecuted. We're not getting anything from it.
I think that some time ago there was in fact an indication given, was it by the head of the JCF, that in relation to what had happened in terms of the prevalence or the occurrence of certain crimes and areas where they've had states of emergency. So they did, just I can't readily recall exactly what was said some time ago.
But I can't recall anything, or even like the parishes now. You're in St. Catherine. So when St. Catherine, at the end of it now, give us a coverage to say, yes,
immediately
this occurred.
Okay.
Yeah, give us a report to say this occurred and this was taken. We're not getting anything from it. So I'm saying that this operation don't make any sense. It's just affecting the small businesses down there and also persons who want to go about their businesses. It's affecting us, and I don't see anything from it.
It was imposed. Was it last week or the week before? Last week? It was last week, I think. Yeah, last week. So early days yet. Do you think that at the end of it, at the very least, you must know
Let me
what happened?
give you some tell you something. Even we having a little, there's a little, they put up a tent beside a church and they having a little, call it a crusade, a 2 weeks crusade. They had to put it off because of the state of emergency. Anyway, nearby in a community, this barrage of gunshot bursting up and the police are nearby, and the church can't keep, but yet people are right there firing guns, and I know it's not police. It's not police, and you can't keep the meeting. You can't keep the nightly meeting because you know the church. They must follow the protocol. They're whatever they say, so they go by the
So you're saying a person that is firing shots while
yes, Mr. Mullen, even the person that was preaching, I was there at a church Saturday, and they were preaching about it. So they heard it, and it's not the same gun it's coming from. Based on how the shot sound, is not one gun. So because I'm not the only person who heard it, he was nearby and he heard it. Somebody else told me about it, and I don't know. I don't think this operation is doing any good. Bad for the economy. So bad for the economy.
Well, let us wait to see what happens. What the reports are going to give at the end of it, though.
No,
what I like,
Mr. I doubt it.
Yeah, what I would agree with you on is that in cases like that, instead of waiting until a period of time for reports generally, if you're having a situation in a particular area and you can report as to what happened during that period of time, so a person can have an idea as to whether or not it really worked, that is important to your rationale for it. So I'll take your point on that. All right?
I'm not too certain. I heard that they killed somebody in the the early morning of Sunday morning, somewhere in the Old Harbor area again. If there was another shooting and some guy got shot and killed. So I'm saying,
well, I've heard that.
This is things not coming on the news about the killings going on down there. Down there not going on good enough, but then I'm saying that I don't see them reaping any success with this operation. Although you say it's early days, yes. But it's soon finished, Mr. Mullins. We're in the last week of it. So,
yeah, well,
so I don't see anything.
Wait till it's finished, though. Wait till it comes to an end. I said going to extend it. Wait till it finishes and then let us hear, though. So let us not say, well, not hearing anything, but let us wait till it's finished and then see, But I like the idea and I agree with you, especially when a situation where a person's rights have been affected. At the very least, person needs to know what has happened during that period of time. So
right. Because that's why persons are against the state of emergency. Why you think they're against it? Because at the end of it, they don't see it. They say that there's no success at the end of it.
Well, the thing is, what you hope for that is success, even if you're going to have an abatement or reduction in activity.
You're not getting anything. So
right.
what's the sense of it? People are saying, what's the sense more than locking down people? You can't go on the lockdown. You just on the lockdown, and when the lockdown finish, then the guns come out and the man them come out. You're not catching them. You're not bringing the guns. When it finish, they're back out there again. Then you lock us down again.
Sarah, you're thinking that there's a pause, but you don't know. Let us see. Maybe there's an effort to locate some of these guns and so on. Maybe these persons will disperse and all that. But I hear you. Hopefully, security forces have to address it and say the persons know. And I think that is important because once your rights have been affected in that way, you need to know that at least it is the objective has been met. Yes?
Right.
So I take your point on that. All right.
Okay, Mr. Mullins. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, man.
Bye.
All right, all the best. All right, bye-bye. This one says, good afternoon. Happy morning to you and your listeners. Colombia is one of America's closest allies, with President Trump threatening to impose tariffs on Colombia. Is it sending a warning to the rest of the world that anyone who disagrees with Trump must prepare to pay the consequences? Do you believe Jamaica will be affected at any time? Coming from Clarky Bless, Hunstone, St. Mary. Well, my take on it, I think that Colombia has signaled that it would be accepting these flights. Yes, of course, migrants coming back. The thing about it is that certain to impose tariffs and restrictions and so on will have some effect, but will it be all positive? And the point I'm making is this, that it could have certain consequences which may not be envisaged at this time. What are those consequences? You can have a situation of trade wars. A trade war may start. Don't believe that that's not possible. And also, you may well find a situation where you are also being affected because you trade with the world. America trades with the world, and so you may very well find that your own ability to trade with the world is going to be affected, not just in terms of increasing costs and therefore stemming demand for your products. So let's say a country A decides, listen, I'm going to impose a tariff then, since you impose a tariff on my goods. People in the country A are going to be affected, but also the demand for the products coming in may also fall off, which means that your exports, in this instance US exports, are going to be affected as well. So that's why I said one of the biggest problems that, have to be very careful as to what could happen is a trade war. And it has been shown, I think, in the 1930s, that time with the Depression and what have you. Your President Hoover had gone this route of campaigning on and bringing into effect tariffs to protect local agriculture or American agriculture. And the net effect of that was to precipitate a trade war, and 60% of America's exports were affected. Well, I shouldn't say that. It fell to 6%, something like that. All right, so what can I tell you? Let's take some more of your calls. Good morning. Welcome to Hotlines. This is Clive Mullings.
Mr. Mullins.
How are you doing? Welcome. I'm good, thanks.
Oh, well, I'm listening to the program from all along from last. I want to ask you about some issues.
Sure, go ahead, man.
Right, okay. First thing I want to mention, I just got a stroke the other day.
Oh, no.
Right, when I was going to St. Council, carrying some passengers into a bus.
Yeah.
Of course, the bus from Waterford.
You're driving?
Yes, I was driving.
Oh, good Lord.
Can't drive work from there.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, so comes Mr. Mullins, what happened is, I'm working for a gentleman, right?
Yes, sir.
Ex-police.
Yeah.
When I took the people by Waterford, there was a woman, or the woman that one high, right? Brown lady beside behind me. You know that thing they banned from stadium?
The Vuvuzela, the blow, yes.
Yes. She keep on blowing, so I'm not like the lady. It can affect me, Anyway.
You see her coming up as a blow. So,
Oh, God. And I have high blood pressure,
so there are people that tell her to stop.
No, but them I can't think the same thing because
I don't know how they're
tried to
doing it.
repair. But, I'm into a conference and it's the area and,
Yeah.
when I went to the community center now, pick up some other people. The boss called me. She said to me that the boss called me. I said, boy, I have to try them on it twice. I'm telling them how I feel. Because I don't feel well because I have high blood pressure. That noise. So anyway.
So you had gotten this stroke before this trip or during the trip?
No, it should be a carry.
Oh, Jesus.
Say what I got. So when the boss called me, I said, I have to carry them on it twice. I'm going to tell him, I want. Like, so much in just now. But anyway, soon as I hard worker, right?
Yeah.
Now, take me time on my boy, yeah. Over. When we come up the further,
Yeah.
and I head towards Kingston, passing the police station, the left side dropped.
What?
The most side
Hold on 1 second. Yeah, I have to take a quick break. I'll be right back with you. Yeah, just hold on for me, please.
You're now listening to Clive Mullings Talk with Substance on Hotline. Radio Jamaica, active for the good of our nation.
Thank you so much for holding on, sir. I'm back with you. Yes.
Yes, sir. The left side of my body get dead. And I'm on the sidewalk. It was on fat light pole till I'm a rocket out because I don't give up. Put it back on the main road and cool it down. Anyway, nobody on the bus can drive. But me insist on them to go on and stay them because they put them here.
Yeah, but you're supposed to go to the hospital if you get stroke.
Right, Papa? Right, drive past. The guy who take the bus and I drive, that guy I'm sent on the bus. He can't drive. But I guide him because I'm still on the side seat of the bus. And I tell him what to do. Just get him going and see. But what surprised me, the owner of this vehicle, right? Never care much about the people. All interested in his insurance card. What he says to me, that if the bus late, it insure. Because I said to him, the bus can crash how much of my bag. And tell him, then if the bus don't insure. No.
Oh, no.
The bus pull up people at the door for
Yeah.
that.
But not only
Right.
you too.
Oh, God, me don't talk about me. Because people leave them here because they come like Kendall crash. If it happen. But I'm talking about the conscious people and owners of these vehicles. vehicle and the drivers need. We're supposed to have a special, what they call it, insurance. But either we pay the self or the boss pays we in case of anything on the job can assist because since that happened, I've been going through hard time too, but I get a system because that is so good and it's safe.
I can hear slurring still, you know, when you're talking. I can hear
Right,
slurring.
yeah, because it's my arm. Well, anyway, we survived. All of us survived. I went to the hospital after that because he take me up.
So after you go to then you go to hospital.
Yes.
Oh, have mercy.
And the man
Father.
have a Pajero in a park in the garage now. Right? And when me reach a stage, me met the youth drive the bus. Right? Crawling. Because that second game at the time, I guide him, you know?
So him can go to hospital?
Yeah. No, the boss okay.
No, the youth are driving bus. How you get to hospital?
I was going to go and say, we can't bus from my garage. That time the garage away from me. And I would need go to garage and money. Them lift me out. At the bus.
Oh, gosh.
Put me in Pajero and my wife now would take taxi for me from there and then take the taxi can go to the money. If I never have faith and loyal, there are other people under me. But what I'm saying, we as drivers want to be careful, right? Because the owners so much interest now. All they want are their money.
Well, hopefully not like that, because the risks alone,
Oh, God.
apart from your welfare,
Oh,
the risk, I tell you, my blood run cold inside telling me the story, you know.
come on, go baptize on that. Go baptize.
Oh, sir. Eh?
We go baptize. Because of God saved me and see the people who laid me down with the one eye.
Yeah.
Call me that story because I explained to mother already, you know.
Eh.
And she said to me, thank you. I said, thank you for what? She said, thank you because you saved her life. When the lady said something to Mullins, she said, Jesus Christ, I do something good.
Oh, my goodness me.
Right? And these owners, they don't care much about passengers and the drivers. Because the driver sick, they can next driver.
Yeah, because you have another driver already. Figure get the work.
Yeah.
But you see, the thing about it, you know, why it is it's short sighted. Let me tell you something. God forbid something that happen.
Oh, God. Keep that.
I tell you something. Apart from injury or possible death, right?
Oh,
The issue you could have charged. You know, I don't want to imagine,
oh, God.
right? And this is why I have to take stock now. I keep on saying it.
Morning.
Well,
Last year, I come to the hospital, right? And the woman, well, I tell you, we're going to God to save and God to love and God to keep her, right? Thank God. Jesus. But I'm just thinking while listening to you on the program about these people who only think of material. They don't think of human.
Yes.
All they think of investment and their material. Right? And I'm thinking, I said, no, but the drivers our workers what's working yeah. Yes? Because everybody start a business, you know, interested in the people that work with them, you know.
True.
Right? Bush short is the only one I'm see. Whenever you bush short work on them strike it, you know.
But you know something though, because you too were not for this, unfortunate incident, not you.
Oh God.
You can get their waiting that way then.
Oh God.
And it's a thing, I think some of us in life go along, you see, and don't understand that your life can change just like that.
Yes.
And guess what happened? And you know what? When your life change, that's why I believe so much in family, because after a while, see your friend them too tough again, after a while, your friend them too rally. Not they have nothing against you, but boy.
No. Well, it's there like God. It's there with me.
Yes.
Never forsake me. Never forget. Oh God.
Yes.
Just like God is there with you.
Yes.
Don't be about to go and forget. Forget you.
Well said. I really
God
hope.
now forget you.
Yeah, but I know you'll be on the mend, and we want full recovery for you. And of course, and prayers to you, and pick up your wife, because she there now, not you.
Oh God, man, she's there for me. God knows.
God, you're blessed.
There for me, man.
God place her in your life.
Alone, say. She, I tell you, thank God.
Yes.
Someone just you know that is the first thing I'm talking about.
Yeah,
And you
man.
see,
Respect.
the next thing I want to talk about, quick and fast, versus the West Africa.
Yes.
And you see this guy was 35-year-old.
Ibrahim Traore.
No.
Yes.
Virgin. Imadu Court.
Yes.
And a
Yes.
lot of people around America. Why never try to after?
Yes.
Because whole heap of resource down there. We build Europe.
Yeah. True. Yeah.
Oh, God. Europe of France. Germany. America. England. Where they get all these wells from?
And which is why it's so very important in terms of the leadership, especially on the African continent. Yeah?
Right.
That stop being
Yes.
tin pot leaders who are there
Yeah.
for the behest of others, because that's a reality. And I tell you something, it's even more important now because of the resources that's there and the resources that's
We
needed.
trusted a long
Tell
time.
you.
That's why they invade and take out and carry from slaves for our foreparents.
Yeah.
And still they do it.
Yes.
And now Europe take over them continents where we build.
Yes.
Right? Them are run out of this, them are run out of that, and are through a black.
Yes.
Why?
Well,
Why
I tell
so
you,
evil go through these people?
well, I tell you something though, in all seriousness,
Okay.
that unless we have the awakening and the understanding,
Yeah, God.
yes, and truth be told, remember now that in terms of how history has been recorded, in
Yes.
terms of what is said, I mean, do you know that person still believe that the continent of Africa is pure hot and tree?
Jesus, no.
They never understand it. So
No.
Africans have developed, when you go there and something that are happening, and people say, but wait, because media is not telling Western
Africa?
media, so it is. I tell you, yes.
When you look at how them treat the youth, them on the gold mine, right? They have to work under certain circumstances and dig out the gold and carry go. And France carry go, where they want to carry go and do them want to do. Whereas, Burkina Faso in Africa, they tell you
Burkina
they want to
Faso,
do a good
yes.
job.
Yes.
Right?
All right, I forgot to leave you, but but relax yourself. Slow down. Yes?
Yes, I'm
Opportunities will come, you know what I mean? And sometimes don't put too much on your mind neither,
Oh, well, I want to thank God for
Yeah.
saving others, not only me,
All right, well put,
at
so.
that time.
I tell you.
Yeah, I hope you get
Yes.
stay well, mate. That is
All the best. And thank you
tragic.
for
That
calling
was
here.
tragic story.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Wow,
What can I tell you?
that is. Don't know, Mr.
Tell
Mullins.
you.
That is something
And
else.
a life-changing event.
Absolutely.
Yes. And so many things could have gone wrong.
Yeah, he saved all their lives.
Wow. I don't know.
Then he did.
To have to take a step back, and I wish him everything that's good, and hope that he get fully recovered
True.
and be able to move from strength to strength. What a story.
Yeah, was a story that.
I don't know.
Wow.
Well, we'll be taking some more of your WhatsApp messages almost soon for the noonday meditation. So I'll take that time to read some more. This person says, good morning. If a person joins a cult to get rich and still lives in Jamaica, does the government still have the right to charge or seize your assets for having too much money and no way to give account on how you got it? Well, the Constitution doesn't allow for that. You are entitled to property. You are. Unless it can be proven that what you have and you're charged an offense for that is first post of crime or some such thing. You can't just go around and make assumptions because somebody is rich. Or if them, we say join a cult, I don't know, as the cult is doing something that is illegal and you're benefiting from the proceeds of being a part of that cult. That's something else. So let's say that you're a part of a cult and you're tricking people out of their money. Yes, the court has something to say about that. But the mere existence of possessions is not sufficient for you to come around and say, well, you have to show how you got it. So the other way around, the responsibility is on the state. All right, we'll take a break. We're going to the noonday meditation and the news. And of course, you're listening to The Hotline.